Hello everyone, welcome to class today. We are going to be working on some movement for hips, legs, and feet. So if you have a tennis ball, this is a lacrosse ball, I think. If you have anything like this, go ahead and grab it. You can also use something, you can use some yoga blocks. We might need those too today. Even something like if you have a can of tomatoes or a can of beans, something that maybe you can roll or at least just get a little pressure on. We're going to be using this underneath our feet. So grab something that you think might work and we'll figure it out together. So we're going to start seated just to do a little centering. If you've got a chair, you might want to start on the chair. But if you prefer to be on the floor, you can come down too. Great. Set those props aside and we will just find our breath. So close the eyes if you choose. If you don't want to close the eyes, that's totally okay. I would just suggest finding something to focus on that's not going to distract you. So maybe you have a window nearby and you can look out at a tree or the sky, or if you're inside somewhere that you don't have access to a window, find something that is kind of neutral to look at. So maybe not a pile of laundry or a stack of dishes or your work desk. Maybe just find one thing that's kind of neutral for you, that doesn't bring up a lot of feelings, emotions, thoughts. And we'll take several breaths here. As you exhale, just kind of slowly soften throughout the body. We're working a lot on self-awareness and self-study this month. So maybe just checking into the body and kind of seeing where you could soften and relax a little bit. Checking into our emotional body, noticing how you're feeling, and without judgment, just being aware, just kind of checking in. About 5 more breaths wherever you are. Good. Slowly begin to blink the eyes open. And roll the shoulders up and back a couple times. Nice. Give the hands a little shake. Great. From wherever you are, we're going to do a bit of a side stretch. So take the right hand down, left arm reaches up and over. And again, you don't have to be in this leg shape as I do. You can be cross-legged. You can have one leg out. Go ahead and switch sides. And again, maybe you're seated in a chair. Good. Side to side again. Just get that stretch all the way down the side of the body. Good. And bring it back to center. Let's inhale, bring that chest forward. Maybe take a little look up. Exhale, round the spine. Oh, that should feel pretty good. Inhale, open up through the chest. Exhale, round it. And one more. Open up and round. Good. Shake it out. Okay, so you can stay in your chair for sure. Grab your tennis ball or whatever you choose to use in this time. And also, if you're working on balance and you would feel more stable and steady in a chair, especially if we're going to be on one foot, go ahead and grab one. We're going to come to stand or in your chair and take the ball underneath the foot. So just like this. So again, if standing on one leg doesn't feel quite stable for you, let me grab my chair here so I can show you. It's the same exact thing. You're going to sit with the ball under the foot. So if you want to work on balance, go for it. Stay standing. If you feel like you can focus more on a chair, sit on a chair. So I'll stay in the chair now because that way I can talk and do all at the same time. So with this ball or whatever it is you have underneath your foot, go ahead and rub it around. So even if you have your yoga block, you can still just kind of press the bottom of the foot into that edge or corner. So we're just going to try to get some movement through the bottom of the foot. And you might notice some areas that feel a little more tender than others. That's pretty normal. Yep, and just kind of move it all around. Make sure you get towards the heel. Spend good time on that arch of the foot. Maybe up by the base of the toes. Up near by the big toe ball mound. And just kind of all the way around. Great. So our feet do a lot of work for us, right? They support us throughout the day as we move and shift and do our job and take care of our loved one. And we rarely give them love. And they surely deserve it. So this is what we're going to start with today. Let's do about 5 more breaths on this side. And if you've got one little spot that needs some extra attention, take that extra time. Yeah. Good. Now we're going to switch. So bring it over to that other foot. Again, move it around. Get all the spaces. Yep. And see what you can soften everywhere else. This is really just about the feet. So shoulders, jaw, hands don't have to be involved. Get that nice full breath. Wonderful. Get up by those toes. So if you notice that you have tight hamstrings or tight tightness along the back of the leg, even into the low back area, massaging the bottoms of your feet can actually really help. I know that seems strange, but you know, our whole body is connected, and sometimes the tension in the bottoms of the feet can kind of pull on the rest of that structure. And just by loosening up these muscles down the bottoms of the feet, we might find some extra slack in our system, a little extra movement, a little extra availability. So let's take about 3 more breaths on this side. Again, if you find that one spot that kind of needs a little extra, take a moment. Good. And release. Wonderful. All right, that ball can scoot to the side for the moment, and maybe just take a moment to close the eyes and feel the bottoms of the feet. By moving the ball around with the bottoms of the feet, our feet might feel a little more alive, a little more awake. You might kind of feel a little bit of tingling. That's pretty normal. You're just kind of waking it up. You're giving it some love, moving that blood around, moving those muscles and fascia, connective tissue, all of that. And just take one more breath here. Great. Let's move into the hips. So if you're seated, you're going to stay right where you are, but just bring your feet a little bit wider. If you're standing, take the feet wide, hands come to the hips. Wherever you are, we're just going to start some rocking forward and back. So we're just kind of getting into that movement, especially if you're standing. You don't have to take that really full forward. We're just kind of rocking back and forth. Knees stay a little bent, so we don't want to lock those knees, especially as we go back. Take that little bend, just kind of forward and back, forward and back. Good. A couple more times. Forward and back. Good. Now we're going to take it forward and stay forward. Find that stretch. So if you're on the chair, hands can stay on the thighs. If you've got those yoga blocks nearby, you might be able to bring them down so hands can go a little farther. If you're standing, same thing. Maybe hands stay on the thighs. Maybe you take those hands down to blocks. You can always adjust going down as far as the body allows today. So let's take 3 more breaths wherever you choose to be. Big, full breaths. Feel that torso expand on the inhale and soften on the exhale. Good. 1 more to go. Nice. Wherever you are, hands come to thighs, knees bend. Press into those heels, rise it up. Good. Roll the shoulders up and back. Great. We're going to get a little sway here. So if you're seated, just bring those knees in and out. If it feels better to kind of walk the feet in a little bit closer, if that feels better for the knee joint, go for it. If you're standing, bring those feet in a little bit closer and just sway side to side. So we get some outer hip movement, right? Good. If you're standing, you can even do a little bit of a circle. Go in one direction and the other, like we're hula hooping. Good. You got 2 more breaths wherever you are. So if you're seated, maybe those knees are going in and out. If you're standing, maybe you're swaying or doing some little bit of circles. Great. Good. We're going to add some marching now. So now we're going to bend the knees, kind of get some action in the hips, knees, and ankles. If you're seated, feel free to stay seated, kind of scoot towards the edge of your chair. And if it's okay for the body, we're just going to lift one foot up and the other. If that feels like it's not quite where you are today, just lift one heel and then the other heel. If you're standing, you can use that chair for stability and just march. Yep. If you want to add more balance, hands off the chair. Good. You can even do opposite arm and leg. Yeah. Good. Couple more breaths, just getting that body moving, that lower body moving. Nice, nice. Good. One more each side. Yeah. All right, shake it out. Okay. Take those feet wide again or set them down onto the floor if you're in the chair. Take those arms out wide. Press those heels down, reach through the fingertips. Take up all that space. Feel the length in the spine, so those sits bones are reaching down towards the floor. Top of the head is lifting up towards the ceiling or the sky, wherever you're practicing today. Good. One more big breath is reach out as far as you can. Take up that space. Exhale, let it go. Awesome. Okay. Let's do a little more stretching for the legs and hips. 2 options as always. If you're in your chair and you're okay to come to stand, bring the hands to the chair, take a step back. So left foot's going to be forward, right foot is going to be back. And we're going to keep that left knee somewhat straight coming into a pyramid pose. You definitely don't have to step that far back. You can take a shorter little step back. If you're okay without using the chair, you can do the same thing. Same shape, left foot forward, right foot back. Hands can come down to thigh. Again, maybe you've got those trusty yoga blocks nearby. You can use them as well. And as always, breathe, breathe, breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Feel the feet press down, connect to the earth. Three more breaths. Good. Now, wherever you are, bend the left knee, bring the hands to the thigh or keep them on the chair and press into that left heel to rise up. Great. Let's switch it out. So right foot comes forward, left foot goes back. Again, kind of choose your stance here. Hands can come to the hips or they can stay on the chair. Nice and tall. Lift it up. Exhale, tilt the pelvis. Hands again, maybe they stay on that chair. Maybe you walk the hands down to the thigh. Maybe you find those blocks if you want. And breathe. That breath is so key in our yoga practice. It helps us stay present, but it also helps to relax our muscles. The jaw can sometimes tense up without us knowing, so using that exhale, that ha breath, can help soften around the jaw and the neck space. Let's take one more breath. Good. Bend into the right knee. Either bring the hands to the right thigh or the chair. Press into the right heel. Slowly come to stand. Nice and tall, nice and strong. Great. Bring those feet back in together and give it all a good little shake. Shake it out, shake it out. Good. If you want, you can even shake those feet out. Checking in with your balance always. Okay. All right, let's get another stretch here. So, as always, lots of options. Option one will be with the chair. Left foot forward, right foot back. We're going to take a bigger step back. So if you need to get a little closer to the chair here, go for it. If you feel okay without using the chair, maybe you want to get down onto the mat, and that's okay too. Left foot is going to be forward. You're going to bring that right knee down. And again, if you've got those blocks, this is a great place to use them. So wherever you choose to be, we're going to bend the left knee and bring the hips forward. Trying to find some stretch here through that front right hip, front right thigh. Good. As always, breathe. We'll take about 5 breaths here. If you feel super balanced here, super stable, and you want to add some more challenge or you want to add some more stretch, you can take your left hand to your left thigh and reach the right fingertips towards the sky. Feel that lift, that lengthening all the way along that right side. Wherever you are, stay long. Press through that right foot, lift up through the top of the head. One more breath. And then release it down. Good. So if you're standing, go ahead and bring the feet back together. Bring the hands to the thighs and maybe do a little forward fold if that feels okay. If you're on the mat, you can take that left foot back to meet the right and do a bit of a child's pose. Hips can rock side to side. Three more breaths here. Good. And when you're ready, come on up. Let's try the other side. So right foot forward this time, left foot back. Again, use the chair as you like. Find some breath. Good. Nice. And after another breath here, if you feel really stable and you want to add some extra movement or some extra stretch because the body wants it, not because the mind wants it. Remember, we're always listening to the body. You can take your right hand to your right thigh and lift those left fingertips up. And just keep that lift going. So wherever you are, staying as tall through the spine as you can, filling up with that breath. One more breath here. Good. Take that hand down if it's lifted. Bring those feet back together. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like from the chair variation. If you are using the chair, you can step those feet back and find that nice big reach. Knees are going to stay bent for sure. Finding that stretch here for the back, and those hips can sway side to side. Or maybe you're in your child's pose if you're on the mat. Whatever is working right now. Take 2 more breaths. Good. Slowly coming back to center. So if you're standing, press into the chair. Start to walk those feet in nice and slow. Take your time. Bend the knees and come back upright. Great. Shake it all out. Wonderful. Okay. All right, when you're ready, come back again to a seat. So maybe you're coming into the chair or you're coming down to the mat. If you are coming onto the mat and you prefer to be flat onto the back, you can do that as well. And if you've got those yoga blocks, we're going to use them one more time. So find your way into your comfortable shape. Again, if you're in your chair, let those feet come down to the floor, maybe knees spread out a little bit. Really lean back into the chair. Find that rest. Find that support. If you want to be on the mat, we're going to come all the way down to the back. If you choose, have those blocks nearby. And then I like to take them on the medium option. So this size or this height. and kind of angle them in. And I'm going to bring my feet together, the soles of my feet together, and kind of let my knees fall out to the side. But I'm going to place these blocks here kind of underneath that lower thigh space, so I have lots of support. So my hips aren't feeling overstretched. My low back isn't feeling tense or tight from the shape of my legs. And you can change this up as much as you'd like. Maybe you want to use that highest option for the blocks. Maybe you don't want to use the blocks at all. Maybe it just feels better to have those knees bent and the feet to the floor. So again, as always, we're choosing shapes that feel beneficial to the body. And pausing wherever you are. Let's take those big inhales and releasing exhales. One more, just like that. Let it all go. Let the body soften. Let the breath soften. Letting go of control of the body, control of the breath, just kind of letting them be. Coming back to that self-study one more time. Noticing the body without judgment. Noticing the thoughts, noticing that mind body. And connecting with the soul. Connecting with that emotional body. Sending love to the whole of you. Sending acceptance, appreciation to all of your parts. Stay here as long as you'd like. Thank you for joining me today.